his legacy?
It did. It was a home championship game, something that he sought, he talked about, he wanted. Sitting on the sideline in Atlanta, he and Jordy Nelson, he says, we got to get one of these things at our place. Jordy's not there, but Aaron got this at his place. They wanted home field, they got it. They wanted someone to come to Lambeau Field in January, cold, weather, inclement weather. It wasn't as bad as it could have been, but it was their kind of weather. And as I said before, I believe Aaron played good, but he didn't play great in the moments that he needed to be great. And, Skip, sometimes that's the difference. Sometimes a great player can have a really bad game, but in big moments, and that's what Tom Brady has done. Tom Brady, in every game, in playoff game, he hasn't always been great. But more times than not, in the big moments when he needs to be great, that's when he can call upon it. That's when he can summon that greatness. And that's what the really good ones can do. And Aaron had an opportunity. He needed to cash one of those, Skip, one of those turnovers. And maybe, there's no guarantee, we could be having the same conversation even if he cashed. But we'll never know. I believe it did. Because if he lost 4 straight NFC Championship games, that's 4. He's the first quarterback to ever do that. And he's like, I don't really know what else I can do. I mean, I throw 48-5, I get home field, and for the most part, Skip, I thought his defense played well, especially in the second half. They gave you every opportunity to win this game, Aaron, and you didn't come up. You didn't make the plays that you needed to make in the moments that you needed to make them in. So I do believe his legacy took a ding with this one.
I agree, but I'm going to stand on what I've said to you for 4 years on this show. Given the fact that some people try to make the case that Aaron Rodgers is better than Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers showed once again yesterday why he is the most overhyped, overrated quarterback in the history of the National Football League, and it ain't even close. I will give you, you say he's a transcendent thrower of the football, greatest thrower of the football ever. He's the coolest looking thrower of the football ever, but it's made for regular seasons, not playoff runs. He did pull off one wild card road playoff run. I got to give you that. It was long ago in a galaxy far away. It was 10 years ago, and he did beat the Steelers in the Super Bowl, and I will give you that. But since then, he's 7-8 in the postseason. And as you point out, he's now 1-4 in championship games. And the first one, was really shaky because Jay Cutler couldn't go in the second half on a sprained knee, sat on the bicycle at Soldier Field. They were the higher seed, obviously. And here came Caleb Haney and nearly pulled off winning the game against Aaron Rodgers, who really stunk in the second half of that game against Brian Urlacher and a very good Chicago defense.
When we deal with these great players and they get there to a championship games and get to the Super Bowl at such an early age, we just think, man, they're going to do this thing for a long, long time. We saw Brady. We like, man, Brady, dude's 22, 23, and he's already been there twice.
Yep.
We're saying that about Mahomes. We thought the very same thing about Rodgers, Skip. Here it is, his third year starting, and he's in the Super Bowl. We're like, man.
All right, I got it. But when you look at the 7 wins since the Super Bowl, it was, wait a second, it was the Dez Cauditt game, remember that?
Yeah.
It was Joe Webb playing quarterback for the Vikings. It was Kirk Cousins at Washington. It was the Odell boat trip game at Lambeau, really? Then it was the Aaron Donald game just recently where he couldn't go. And again, they did beat last year's Seattle at Lambeau, but that was the same Seattle team that had lost at Dallas in a playoff game the previous year and lost at home to the Rams this year.
Right.
So I'm not impressed with even the 7 wins. And yet, in the end, he went up against the real GOAT twice this year, and he got outplayed twice. So to me, I hope we can put to rest till death do us part, till next year, that Aaron Rodgers is better than Tom Brady, because it's just laughable blasphemy, as you saw on full display yesterday.
Let me ask you a question. So what happens if Mahomes beat Brady? Is he not a GOAT?
Well, are you going to make the case?
No, just ask us.
Well, that's not the question at hand right now. We should save that because we got 2 weeks of that. And I'm sure you will build up and buy it. 2 weeks from today, you will tell me that Patrick Mahomes is the GOAT, right? He might be the GOAT. He's won 1 Super Bowl with a late third-quarter interception and an early fourth-quarter interception at a time he was down 20.
So in other words, he pulled a Tom Brady by throwing all them late interceptions and winning the ball game.
Wait a second. He was down 20-10 while both were thrown. Down 20-10.
Skip, you notice how we spot people? In order to make it fair, because people going to say we cheating. So we spot them 24.
Yeah.
We'll spot them 10 and then walk them down.
Well, I got to warn you, this is not Jimmy Garoppolo you're playing in this Super Bowl.
We spot Tom Brady.
It's not Jimmy Garoppolo because Jimmy missed Emmanuel Sanders right at the goal line with a throw that could have changed that game and changed Patrick Mahomes' legacy.
I mean, you think about it. You had 2 chances in the fourth quarter to take the lead. You had 3 shots inside the 10-yard line to tie the ball game in the fourth quarter. You didn't get it. That's Aaron Rodgers now. Skip, if that's you know, hey, Drew Lock or that's some other quarterback, hey, okay, hey, the moment. That's Aaron Rodgers. Bro, you about to be MVP for the 3rd time.
Well, he can win regular season MVPs like crazy, but when it comes to pushing the money to the middle of the table, I'll take Brady every time.
You got to cash those in, Skip.
Yep.
It's as simple. I mean, it's as simple as that. I don't want to get overly complicated. It's as simple as that. If you're great in the great moments, you must be great. He wasn't yesterday.
Brady over Rodgers, Jordan over LeBron. Case
Don't do that.
closed.
Don't do that, Skip. Don't do
Here
that.
we go.
Don't do that. But
Next question, Jenny.
But what about my homeboy? What about my homeboy?
Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about your homeboy, don't you worry. And speaking of performances yesterday, did Josh Allen help push Mahomes into the Super Bowl? We'll break it down.
Bad as it could have been, but it was their kind of weather. And as I said before, I believe Aaron played good,